right, so I'm coming to you guys as a nutritionist and a holistic health practitioner and a personal trainer and a mom with a son with ADD. I don't specialize in ADD. However, I see this as an issue that so many children struggle with and so many parents are desperately seeking answers. So just like Dr. Dagan, I'm going to present some science to show where the nutrition can be an aid and where exercise can be an aid and where some alternative things can be an aid. So how many of you have researched natural ways to help your children? Okay, a couple of you, which is good. That's good. Medicine is an excellent thing to help our children. But there are other things that we can do that will help them as well. So looking at that outline, if you want, you can jot notes next to it. I'm going to first discuss the nutritional end from a profile of nutrition. Nutrition, we look at nutrition and it's this massive topic. Matter of fact, what I'm going to present to you today could take at least 8 hours to break the surface. So I'm going to talk really fast. I'm going to give you some pointers, and then what you need to do is ask questions at the end if you have them. See me. My business cards are up there. My contact information is in here. Or make sure you get that newsletter to get more information because it's just way too much to cover. So let's look at whole food eating for one. What is whole food eating? Whole food eating does not mean you have to just chow down on an entire apple, right? It means eating food that comes naturally. From my perspective, I say eat only what God gave us. If man made it and God didn't, then it's not a whole food. It's a processed food of some kind. So my favorite is, what is boxed macaroni and cheese? Has anybody eaten real cheese? Right? Yeah. What comes in that packet? Does it resemble cheese in any way? Absolutely not. There's virtually no nutritional value and it's harmful to our systems. Now, there's been lots and lots of research done on the topic of artificial sweeteners, artificial food colorings, food additives, and none of them have been conclusive to completely say, absolutely don't eat this, eat that. But what they have said, if you look at all the overall, look at it as kind of a meta-analysis. If we look at research based on artificial foods versus whole food eating, people who eat whole foods are healthier. They have more beautiful skin. They have healthier hair. They have better sleep habits. They're at a healthier weight. So in general, eating a whole food diet that incorporates fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean cuts of meat or beans, nuts, seeds if you're vegetarian, fish, all these great things incorporated in and avoiding things that come in boxes, you will be much healthier and your child will have a healthier brain and a healthier body, which will set them up to think healthier, to feel healthier, and to act in their creative little ways healthier. So whole food eating, although the research is inconclusive, I can tell you, you will feel better, your children will feel better, and you'll have better days because everybody feels better. You're not feeling sluggish, worn down, beaten down, unenergized because you don't have the nutrients you need to have the energy. So the next thing on your sheet you'll see is macronutrients. There are 3 macronutrients: protein, carbohydrates, and fat. Every food item falls in one or more of these categories. So macronutrients are important to understand, and it's a very in-depth conversation, so I'm just going to say it this way. Protein, must have it, builds cells, is really important. There's been a number of pieces of research out there that have shown that children with ADHD who eat high-protein breakfasts do better in the morning at school because their body is well balanced, they're not hungry, and they're not getting a sugar spike and crash that cold cereal will give them. So if you look on your sheet, you'll see it depends on the age of your child as to how much protein they need. So it's broken down on there for you. Let me just give you an example. Ages 1 to 3, it was what's next to number 1 there, they need 0.55 grams per pound of body weight. Okay, so you take their body weight, if they're in that age category, and you multiply it times 0.55, and that'll tell you how many grams of protein they need. In the article I'm writing, I actually give you examples of how many grams of protein are in food, so that will help you there as well. Many of you, do you have kids in elementary, middle school, high school? Okay, so we have a lot of younger kids. So look at those weights. The ones in middle school, ages 15 to 18, if you have a girl or a boy, you're going to see different volumes because they have different metabolic needs. So figure out how many grams of protein they need, and then they should be eating every 3 to 4 hours. They should have some form of protein for the most part in each of those things. It doesn't have to be a lot of protein. Your protein foods are your meat, your fish, nuts, seeds, legumes like kidney beans, black beans, garbanzo beans. Dairy products also fall under protein as well. So these are all great sources of protein. You want to try to get them in. So maybe give them a boiled egg for a snack. Kids love eggs. Give them a boiled egg. How about a handful of almonds? If they don't have a nut allergy, almonds are delicious and they're going to give them some fat and some protein. How about giving them, chicken nuggets? Is this a health food because it's chicken? No! You can make it at home by cutting up chicken and covering it in breadcrumbs and put it in the oven, and now you've got a health food, and your kids will eat it, right? And that's also in the article. There's a whole bunch of don't eat this, eat this. So watch for that as well. But so give them these healthy proteins as often as you can throughout the day. Every 3 to 4 hours, it will help sustain their insulin levels in their body because it'll keep from getting those spikes and crashes. That's at least part of the picture. And that will help them address their triggers. Then let's look at carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are good. Many people, the Atkins diet, South Beach have heard, oh, carbs, don't eat them. But you need carbohydrates. 55% of your diet and your children's diet should come from carbohydrates. A healthy carbohydrate is a fruit, a vegetable, whole grains, not wheat products necessarily, whole grain products. So when you're looking at bread, have you ever eaten Wonder Bread or any white bread? And it turns to like this glue substance in your mouth and you make those little glue balls out of them, right? That is just what's called endosperm. That's the inside white gunk of the wheat. When you see the whole grain breads, the one that you could drop on the floor and it'd break the tile before it broke the bread, those have the whole entire piece of grain in them. So they have the bran, they have the germ, and they have the endosperm. This is what you want. So when you're looking at buying breads for your children and yourselves, look for the word whole before the grain or whole before wheat. And then you're going to find that you're going to get more nourishment from it and more stabilized energy, and less spike and crash of the insulin, which in children and adults, even people without ADHD, causes emotional ups and downs. Have you ever been starving hungry and you almost killed somebody because you were so angry? They did absolutely nothing wrong. That's that spike and crash. How do you expect your child to handle that any better when they don't have any understanding of how to address emotional issues? So we want to control that spike and crash by eating whole grains, fruits and vegetables, combine them. The one topic on there says food combining. Combine them with a fat, a protein, or a fiber to slow the sugar into the system. Let it be released over time. So if you combine a carbohydrate with those things, you're going to have better control of blood sugar and better control of the emotional issues that can come with the spike and the crash. Then we've got fats. Bullet point number 1 says 4 types. There is saturated, polyunsaturated, monounsaturated, and the evil trans fat. Avoid trans fat for your health and for your children's health. It is really, really, really negative. You'll find trans fat in the ingredients list listed as a hydrogenated oil, or hydrogenated, depending on how you pronounce it. But it is, trans fat is a damaged good fat, a polyunsaturated fat that has been damaged to make it solid at room temperature. How do you take olive oil and make it a margarine? Olive oil is liquid at room temperature. How the heck did it become solid? They damaged the molecule, and that actually is hard on your system, and it's not good for your kids. So avoid trans fats. They need saturated fats. They need polyunsaturated fats. They need monounsaturated fats. The big one in the news is the polyunsaturated fat, the omegas. We probably have all heard this term. Maybe we don't understand what it means. We don't understand what it does for us. But this is the area that we need to focus on. You'll find on the resource page the research that was done. Let's see, I want to say it was 2002. Let me see here. Yeah, 2002, and it was listed in the Process in Neuropharmacology and Biological Psychology journal. This research showed that children responded well to a certain balance of the different types of polyunsaturated fats. So in the notes you'll see there, letter D, it says the study combined 80% of fish oil and 20% of evening primrose oil. There is EPA, DHA, and ALA. These are different types of polyunsaturated omega fats. ALA is like the top of the pyramid, and then EPA and DHA is what it breaks into. In our bodies, we don't break down ALA well, so we want as much EPA and DHA as we can get because we can use it more easily. This is found in fish. If you're vegetarian, you can have your vegetarian sources, which will give you more ALA. So it's harder to break down, you have to have more. This is your chia seeds, flax seeds, you guys probably heard these things, your almonds, these are all places that you find these, but they're harder to break down. So if you're not vegetarian, your best option is to use a fish source. The study gave the combination of 558 milligrams per day of EPA and DHA of 174 milligrams per day. It also had 60 milligrams of ALA, 9.6 milligrams of vitamin E, and I looked everywhere to try and find a supplement with close to that balance. The only one that I found was Nordic Naturals Ultimate Omega Minis. Children can take these, and it would give them a close balance of the EPA, DHA that was done in the study. It does not have the ALA, it does not have the vitamin E, but this is a great, great foundation. So I highly recommend giving that to your child in the morning. My son, we did not want to go to medicine if we didn't have to. So we started out using fish oil. And we saw a small change, not huge, but a small change, and every little bit helps. Then we added a zinc supplement that is in his multivitamin, and we saw another small help. It was a little, it wasn't a lot, but every little bit, again, helps. Every little bit we can help them focus, we're doing better and better for them. And of course, it's good for their health. So those are the things you need to know. If you want to give it to them in a non-supplement form, salmon, mackerel, tuna, these are 3 excellent, excellent sources. So if your child will eat them, feed it to them.